Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for joining, and thank you for joining throughout the year. It's been a really busy year and we've done so much on the boat together. I'd like to thank everybody who's subscribed, everybody who's watched, and hopefully next year we can continue to grow the channel and you can see how far this project actually gets. I'm pushing towards that elusive 1,000 subscribers, and who knows, maybe I even get monetized. It would be really awesome. This week, I'm still waiting on some engine bits. I am not quite ready to get the gearbox thing sorted, but I can finish the portholes that we started last week. So let's get busy with that. How good does that look? New window? Not new window. Awesome. So this takes us neatly to getting the first coat of primer on. As per my usual, this is Interguard, and it's a product by Esco Nobel or International, and it's my go-to primer for pretty much everything everywhere. It works on steel, it works on fiberglass, it works on wood. It's great. I'm going to put about 2 or 3 coats of this on here before I put the final coat, but first I'm going to have to do a little bit of fairing around the edges where the middle porthole had some of the veneer pull out. I tried gluing some of it in and I sanded it and I did what I could with some epoxy, but it doesn't look perfect, so I'm going to have to try to do something a little bit better there. That'll come next, and then I'll repeat another coat of primer over that. Okay, it's been a day or two. I've already put the fairing compound on to try and straighten this off and try and get rid of that horrible mess. I've done so over there as well, and a little bit on the outside, and now I'm going to sand it all. I hope that it'll be good enough, because then my next mission is to make the template, router out the correct size that we need, and then paint, get the primer on, outside and inside. Cool, let's go for it. We can mark where the new template's going to be, because we've got to do this on the outside and then router it out. So let's do that. So outside is all sanded, and I've had to put a bit more fairing compound around the edges. I've forgotten about the holes for the previous screws, but I think it's looking good. I'll let that dry, sand it again, and then I will prime it before the end of the day. Maybe even before lunch. So this is what it looks like. It's not perfect, but it's enough that when I do the top coat, it won't be too bad. When I mix up the primer for outside, what I may do anyway is come through here and do another coat. Cool. One more thing done. So, strictly speaking, I did not make a template. I'm just eyeballing this, literally taking the covers off and with my hand manually routing the edges. Every now and again it skipped a bit and it jumped a bit, and this is clearly not the correct way to do it. But I realized any templates I put on, I just couldn't reach going from the inside or going from the outside. On the inside we have this bar, that wooden beam that runs all the way along the edge, which prevents me from running the router along it, and on the outside, any lower than that, we hit the deck. In fact, at some point I take the cover off completely and totally free-handed all of this. I do not recommend it, and it's not safe, and I could have at any point in time had a terrible accident. So do not do what I do unless you're a professional, unlike me. I have done both of these, but they're not, well, I suppose they're okay. I just need to make sure that this is deep enough. I don't think it is, but I can do that with a file. And then this part, yeah, I'll do some test fits now and I'll see how close it is. That being said, you can clearly see that there is still some filling that I'm going to need to do in there. Despite doing some of it, I didn't make it all the way in, but that's okay. I can inject that. This side, on the other hand, is done. This camera doesn't like sun. Let's see with a test fit. Alright, it is a fairly good fit there. And along the top, along the bottom, there's a small gap. And along the side here also. But it does go in. Very nice. Okay, so now let's test fit that side. This one also fits very neatly. Very cool. Both sides all the way through. That means what I can do now is prime the outside again, wait for it to dry, and then temporary fit these so I can do the proper top coat paint tomorrow. And so it is done. It is fitted, dry fitted, not completed. I obviously still need to do the top coat final painting over here. Yeah, and outside, so I'll do that tomorrow. But that's really cool. So let's see what it looks like outside. So I was quite surprised at how long it actually took to get some of this work done. Obviously I've got to prime the outside, wait for that to dry, prime the inside, wait for that to dry, epoxy work, wait for that to dry. So there's like a day between each section to putting these two portholes in. I think in total it took just about most of the week to actually get this all done, and the previous week doing all the other prep work. So it took way longer than I expected. Okay, painting time. All of this done today. Let's put on some Pink Floyd and get it done. Prep the final mounting of the windows. I'm going to put a bead of Sikaflex just in here. You can already see where the tape is touching in a few places. Now this will be outside the tape, and then I'll peel it off if there's a lot of squeeze out. Try to make things neat. And I'll squeeze it all the way in along the side. Same for the other two, but I'm going to start with this one first because I want to put a little bit of extra Sika just in there. Then we'll know fairly quickly if I'm going about this the right way. Here you can see where some of the tape ended up. So it really is just touching there, and I think everywhere there's not much of a gap. So let me set you guys down and you can watch me fail at this. Now, because it literally is about a millimeter in places, and very few places is it more than 2 millimeters size gap between the frame of the new porthole and the actual cutout, I'm only putting a tiny bit of seeker in. It will squeeze in, and I'll try to make it as tight as possible. Obviously, I don't want leaky windows any more than anyone, but you can only push it in so far. I'll come around on the outside when I am done and squeeze a little bit more into any remaining gap. But as this is the first window, let's see how that goes.
Here goes nothing.
So because we pushed it through, it kind of folded a little bit onto the inside. I wasn't as much squeeze out on the outside as I wanted, so I came along with a very fine tip on the caulking gun and squeezed a little bead along everything, just to get the little millimeter in. Then I came along with my scraper and with the 90-degree angle on it, and I pushed it and smooshed it all the way through. Tried to make it as neat as possible. I do have tape on everything so I can peel that off later, but I wanted to give it a very, very nice clean fit. Later, when we put the covers on, which don't really do anything, they don't seal anything, they're just cosmetic really, this is the part that's going to make the biggest difference in terms of sealing it from the outside. And it doesn't look too bad. I think it's pretty good considering how small that gap is. Now there's another 2 to do. Which brings us to the last port light, which we need to sort out, and then that'll be all 3 on this side done. Now I've been pushing really hard to try and get all of these done and to put them all in one video because I didn't want to split this up over Christmas. So this is a much longer video than usual. Alright, all 3 windows are now bedded, that one and this one above the electrical station. What happens now is I take a day off to get other things done. But I'll come back tomorrow and we need to find a solution to put these on the outside. But I want to give the Sikaplex some time to dry, and I still need to find little screws that'll fit in here. And if you guys recall, these holes, I don't know if you can see it, so these holes don't line up. So it's not a bolt. So they just screw in. So the outside misses the inside and so forth. So that'll be tomorrow's mission. See you then. Right, so I'm going to put this on the outside now. I've already screwed the inside on one of them. This is just to test that I had the right screws, because it's difficult to find the right screws. I have put a layer of butyl tape just on the outside. I'm hoping for a little bit, well, when I say the outside, I mean not all the way, just on the outside edge. So when I squeeze it and I screw it in now, hopefully it'll make a nice tight cover. I don't know that I even need this technically, because you know the outside has got Sikaflex and the whole thing should be waterproof already, but this might just help with the runoff, and I have some spare butyl tape, and maybe it's a good habit to get into to do these things. But let's go outside and put this on. I think this all looks good. Ugh. We got some squeeze out right there. All right, two more to go. So that's going to be it from a very, very long episode, and from editor Jessi. Thank you again to everybody for watching. Thank you so much for the support this whole year. It's been really cool. Let's grow our numbers for next year. And Christmas is coming up and my birthday is coming up. So next week there may not be a video, but I might squeeze one in. I have the pipes I'm waiting for to fit the new cooler. So as soon as I got those pipes, I will do a quick video of fitting the new cooler for the gearbox, change the oil, start up the engine and get the prop turning. And that'll be a massive milestone. And if I can do that before the end of the year, even better. It would be really nice to be able to take the boat out on my birthday. Thank you again. I'll see you soon. Have a good Christmas, everyone. Goodbye.